Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Ango, and today's video is a very interesting one. We know a former WWE superstar has turned down AEW. We also know a former WWE superstar debuted on Impact. I'm going to give you guys my review. Also, on top of that, WWE is interested in a top female MMA fighter, but her manager says they are not interested. So, a lot of cool things in this video. Make sure you guys click that subscribe button if you're new here. And don't forget, Ango in the Morning debuts on November 22nd, 10 a.m. Eastern. So this is going to be really cool. It's a new wrestling talk show in the morning. All right, guys, so let's talk first about Kayla Harrison. If you're not familiar with who Kayla Harrison is, she is I believe at this point, she's the two-time champ in PFL, which is the Pro Fight League in ESPN. Also, she trains with American Top Team. She is one of the biggest women's MMA fighters right now. She is compared to the likes of Chris Cyborg and Amanda Nunes. And for those of you who don't watch MMA, what you basically need to know is that she is a really big deal in the mixed martial arts world. Now, on top of that, AEW made a play for her when they were running this AEW versus American Top Team storyline. Okay? Kayla Harrison was not a fan of pro wrestling. She was very adamant about not being part of it. But then Ali Abdelaziz, he is her manager, basically came out talking to TMZ and was saying, hey, WWE and everybody's expressing interest. She just showed up at Bellator. There's rumors of her going to UFC. Dana White doesn't necessarily like that idea for some reason, but WWE is interested. And then when asked about it, basically Ali Abdelaziz had said, no, we're not bringing Kayla Harrison to pro wrestling. She wants to stick to the real fighting for right now, which, I mean, I totally get it. She's got a lot of stuff that she's got to do in her career. I think she's really, really talented. A lot of people want to see her play in a role where she can do wrestling and MMA. I don't like that idea. I don't like the idea of playing in two different roles at the same time. I think you got to be fully committed to your sport in MMA, because if you're not fully committed, I don't think you end up winning. And I think as a pro wrestler as well, she doesn't have the same name value as, let's say, Ronda Rousey. So, she's got to be 100% involved in pro wrestling if she jumps ship. What's really interesting, though, is it almost seems like the tone here has changed, because she was completely against the idea of being in AEW. And then obviously now, they're sticking to the real fighting. So it doesn't mean that she won't go to WWE or AEW at some point, but right now she's going to be sticking to MMA. I think it is the right career move. She is often compared to Amanda Nunes, which is somebody she trains with to begin with, but that is a fight that I want to see, because those are two of the top female MMA athletes. And if you watch MMA, these two are really, really, really good, but they're teammates. So I don't know. It's kind of weird. Yeah. All right, guys, let's talk a little bit about Bronson Reed. You guys remember him? Well, he just debuted in Impact Wrestling, and he took out Josh Alexander at Turning Point. This was a fantastic debut for Bronson Reed. He is also working with New Japan Pro Wrestling. He is scheduled for NJPW's Nemesis event, but Bronson Reed is here, and he's going by the name Jonah, which I think everybody kind of knew based on after his release. He got his work visas figured out and everything like that, so he's here in America. He's working for Impact. He's working for New Japan. The real question is, will we ever get Bronson Reed against Sammy Guevara for the TNT Championship? Because as you guys know, the TNT Championship belt is one that is available for open challenges. We've seen people walk through the forbidden door for an opportunity at that belt. I just don't think Bronson Reed, a.k.a. Jonah, should ever be given that opportunity if he's not going to win the belt, because I think the way Impact and New Japan have both presented him right now is this very, very, very big, strong character, which I think they've already made it clear, this guy is not the same guy that we saw in WWE, which is awesome. It just goes to show you how much he's evolved and how much he can do when he has a little bit of freedom. And I love the fact that he took out Josh Alexander. I think Josh Alexander's storyline in Impact, obviously there's a lot of talk about him becoming a champion one day. He won the belt. He lost it immediately to Moose. They're obviously building up Moose, but they have to build up Josh Alexander. For those who watch Impact on a weekly basis, you know that the long-term play is Josh Alexander eventually defying all odds and getting the belt. But now Josh Alexander has the top dog Jonah in the way. And I think this is great. I think this is what like Impact Wrestling needs. I think this is the type of stuff that gets Impact Wrestling over with fans. And for those who care so much about ratings, their ratings have even gone up. But only time will tell to see what kind of impact this has. Obviously, he is not a big name, but he is a really great talent. And sometimes I think in the world of pro wrestling, great talent can outweigh some of the pros that you have by big names. So just ultimately really cool stuff. Bronson Reed, Jonah Rock, aka just Jonah at this point. He is an Impact and on JPW. And I think one day we will see him walk through that forbidden door with AEW and so many more promotions. And that's exactly what we were expecting when he was released. All right, guys, and now it is time for our final story. Ric Flair has shot down rumors of joining AEW. His Twitter antics again. He's getting people talking. A lot of people aren't really happy with the Twitter stuff, but now let's take a look at this tweet. Some very, very crazy stuff. So Ric Flair says, just having fun and sharing memories does not imply I'm looking for a job. I left one great company, and it wasn't because of Vince McMahon. And I'm not going to work for another great one. And it's not because of Tony Khan. It's as simple as that. Now, the belief here is that Ric Flair, he's been tweeting a lot of stuff. He's been talking a lot of stuff about AEW. Obviously, he's promoting his podcast and whatnot, which is a very brilliant business move. But the big thing about Ric Flair was he tweeted a photo of him and CM Punk and said, all I need is like 10 minutes, or let's talk for 10 minutes to pop a rating, something like that, right? Something of that nature. And I think, obviously it's good for social media engagement because it gets a lot of people exciting, but there is no reason in whatever world there is, right? There is no reason for CM Punk and Ric Flair to ever be in the ring together for 10 minutes. I think that's ridiculous. I think at this point, Ric Flair previously said at one point he feels better right now physically than he did in his final match at WCW. So, I don't know. I don't think this guy should be in the ring. I don't think he should be on TV. And it has nothing to do with AEW and Dark Side of the Ring and the controversies that there are, because obviously there was plans for Ric Flair to go in as a manager. My big thing is, when I look at the product itself, CM Punk should not be working with older people, okay? He should be working with the young people, like he said. Also, I think CM Punk needs to do things that are based on elevating the product and not popping the rating, because you could pop a rating. We've seen that happen with Rampage, but then it dropped right back down. So at the end of the day, I think good, consistent quality TV on a weekly basis is what gets you long-term success, not, hey, let's bring Ric Flair and CM Punk together, and then let's just forget about MJF and the program that we're building there. You know what I mean? So a lot of things to consider. I want to know what you guys think. Obviously, a lot of great things coming in pro wrestling. My job here is to bring it to you on a daily basis, so I really appreciate you guys sticking around. But also, if you guys want more videos like this, go ahead and click that subscribe button, and don't forget to click on the video somewhere on this screen. I would greatly appreciate if you guys check it out. Again, I'm bringing you daily news videos and my opinions and rumors, and we have a new show that is launching on the 22nd of November, Angle in the Morning, the new wrestling talk show.